You ever seen a box so heavy, it changes the way people breathe around it? Not just the weight on the pallet, the weight in the room. I did. Dusty launch pads got heat rolling off the ground like the planet was trying to sweat us out. Type 1 troopers dragging crates marked in red. Biohazard warnings written like law. The kind of crate nobody touches unless command says so. And command doesn't ask. Command only orders. Back in the day, I remember thinking, war ain't fought with bullets first. It's fought with logistics, with sealed metal coffins, with things that aren't meant to see the ear. And everyone at that base pretended it was normal. Everyone except Munja. Munja's a big man, 7 foot tall, broad shoulders, city-born confidence that hasn't been beaten out of him yet. He leaned in like a kid staring at a wrapped gift.
Just a peek, man. What could possibly go wrong, boy?
That's how it starts, you know. Not with betrayal, not with gunfire. With a thought that says, I'm different. I can handle it. I deserve to know. Then Oren appeared. Type 4, orange armor. His knife pulled out halfway like it was already mid-sentence. Oren didn't talk. He didn't need to. He drove the blade straight through Munja's hand and pinned him to the crate like the world itself was making an example. Blood splashed all over the place. Munja towered over him while bleeding and still bowed his head.
Sorry, sir. Curiosity just got the better on me.
That's what men do out here. They apologize for being human. Because curiosity didn't get you killed in Chihuades. Curiosity gets you trained with pain. Then Kaz rolls past, bandaged head to toe on a stretcher, face wrapped, leg braced, grinning like he'd won a game of Jumanji. 2 medics carried him like they were hauling a curse.
I'm saying, put me back in, coach. I'm just getting warmed up.
One of the medics looked at him like he'd seen too many men break bones and laugh at the wrong time.
Keep talking, hero. Maybe we should get this guy a loyalty card.
Kaz chuckles through gauze.
Fifth ride free, baby.
Some man coped by praying. Kaz coped by turning the war into a joke though. And the scary part? Sometimes the joke survives longer than the prayers do. Munja followed behind them, clutching his bleeding hand. Quiet now, like a wounded bear learning what the world actually was. That base was chaos dressed up as order. Ammo boxes stacked, officers barking, transports spinning up, and then that roar. A deep engine scream that made the whole pad freeze. Madness rides again. Kwan's motorbike burst into the scene like laws of physics were optional, hear me? Roaring through the dust, skidding too close to everybody. Munja shouted at him like he still believed in common sense.
Hey, watch it, you numpty.
The bike nearly clipped a medic holding Kez's stretcher. The medic stumbled, swearing at that fuckhead.
Perfect. Another lunatic on wheels. Just what we needed.
Kez hauled with laughter. Fists raised like a gladiator.
That was awesome. Next time I'm hitching a ride.
Oren lifted the biohazard crate with one arm like it was nothing. Hearing the bike behind him, in his head, I could almost hear it.
One day, I might kill one of these law, and I won't even file the report.
Munja trucked behind, hear me? Bleeding, mumbling to himself.
Should've stayed in bed today. Too damn hot out here for a city boy.
The camera doesn't capture the smell of fear, hear me? The way the dust sticks to blood, the way people avoid looking at the crate. But I remember it because I was watching, I was learning. The sun hit the warning labels and made them shine like the planet was mocking us. Biohazard, containment, do not open. Whatever was inside that steel coffin, it wasn't meant for living things to understand. But ignorance is mercy, and mercy is rare. The choppers whirled to life behind us. Ben's squad moved towards them. The mission was about to begin. And in these lands, curiosity, madness, and steel aren't choices. They're just toys fate hands you right before it breaks you alongside them. Orn turned slightly as a distant boom echoed off the mountains.
Have the madness is only just beginning.
We lifted off into Asher like we were trying to outrun our shadows. Below us, massive wild beasts fought, tearing into each other with a kind of violence that doesn't need bullets to be brutal. Nature doesn't care about human wars. It's been killing long before we arrived. We climbed higher into the mountains that were tall, green, and too quiet. Colossal bird nests clung to them cliffs and branches like monuments to something that watched us and decided we weren't worth saving though. Punky leaned out the chopper into the open air, her voice sharp.
This mission's got more holes than a sniper's target. What aren't they telling us?
Shay answered like a man used to being kept in the dark. You know they keep us on a need to know, sweetheart, and apparently we don't. Quan laughs.
Hey look, hear me, bro? A dash of this, a sprinkle of that, keeps life spicy, hear me?
That's the thing about squads. Some people joke to feel alive. Some people question to feel in control. Me, I stay quiet though, because the quiet lets you hear what matters. And what mattered was the package, and the way Command treated it like a holy cross. Inside the choppers, Brian snacked like calories could protect him. Crumbs sprinkled all over his belly. Trey watched the trades tick upwards on his wrist panel, smiling like the war didn't exist when credits were climbing.
Yes, another win, I'm telling you, hear me? Credits are stacking up nicely.
Then he started browsing high-end gear.
Ain't about this here rate, I can outfit my own squad.
Punky scanned the terrain through her scope, cleared threats like she was pruning a garden of death.
Area's clear, for now.
Shay asked about the packages again. Greed dressed up as curiosity.
Hey look, anybody got any guesses on what's in that package? She must be worth a fortune, hear me?
Then the silence between Ben and me kept thickening. We sat across from each other like two storms refusing to touch. Punky's voice floated in, casual, dangerous.
Heard whispers about experiments in iron car. Real twisted stuff.
Ben's thoughts were written all over his face. What have we gotten ourselves into? Me, I kept my mouth shut because when I speak, things tend to move. And I wasn't ready for that yet. Sector 1 appeared like a scar carved into the mountain. A cratered mining facility, choked in smoke and dust, eaten half by its own ambition, hear me? The withered bank expanse. Asher's breath ran thin in here, choked by the steel teeth of human greed. Sector 1 had been a promise. Now it was a ghost, groaning beneath dynamite scars. Comms buzzed, static. A fractured message calling from somewhere close. And then, a hidden camera lens inside the chopper watched Ben. Not a normal lens, a surveillance eye. Quiet, patient, recording. Ben stared out at the smoldering wreckage below.
Hey, take us in closer. Whatever's left down there, we need to see it.
That's leadership. You don't flinch at the wound. You shred it open and stare deep inside that hole, even when you know it might look back. Sector 1 breathed beneath us. Dead machines, jammed belts, hard roots hanging from cliff edges like burned veins. Mining crates burst open, fires flickering in shadow. And the worst part? There ain't no bodies. There ain't no movement. Just the stink of metal and silence thick as blood. Punky said it first.
What in the absolute hell happened down there?
Ben answered with the kind of truth that gets you hated.
Command got greedy, tore the lungs right out the mountain, and someone didn't like it.
Punky checked her wrist panel. A ping flared. B-Scaff's beacon, live again. North Ridge, just now. Like something woke up and wanted attention. Ben's voice hardened.
Stick to the plan. Locate the beacon, secure the box, and get the hell out.
The squad answers in unison.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir!
Ben added cold.
No second chances down there. Use your brain. Even you, Brian.
Quan crackled.
Yo, that deal is personal, player.
Ben shut him down.
And you, shut it too.
That's the tone of a man who's seen enough to know that jokes don't stop bullets, Ermy. And came the part nobody tells you about in command recruitment videos. While we prepped, while we chambered rounds, while we checked seals. Two pilots talked about money. Jack's voice slid into comms like a blade.
You boys interested in turning that turbine home into some hard credits?
Cam didn't bite, but he didn't shut it down either. The define credits? Define clean. Jack smiled through the radio.
443K, split 4, quick, quiet, damn near victimless.
Victimless. That word is always the lie. Corey muttered what everyone sane was thinking.
Hey, that's got landmines written all over it.
Cam stayed calm. Let him talk, but keep your boots ready to run, hear me? Ethan and Jack went private. Radio silence engaged. A red light blinking like an omen.
They'll bite, but when it's done, they'll choke on air. We keep every credit.
That's greed. Not loud, not dramatic, just patient. Like a disease waiting for the immune system to blink. We jumped, one by one, from hovering choppers into sulfur haze. Shadows stretched across the ridge, long and thin, like the mountains were already reaching to claim us. And I remember thinking, this is the moment right before the storm turns into a warning. Because we weren't just falling into a mission, we were falling into a plan someone else wrote, but signed with each of our names. Above us, one chopper lifted off again, the other hovered, watching like a vulture, waiting to see what parts it could salvage. So when you ask me what I remember, I don't remember heroism. I remember a crate with red warnings. A man punished for curiosity. I remember Gaz laughing through bandages like he could insult death into leaving. I remember Quan's bike skidding past fate by inches. I remember Sector 1, a mountain guttered by human hunger. I remember betrayal being negotiated in calm voices, like it was another piece of equipment. Betrayal stretched its wings, silent, patient, and with it came the price of silence. This is what people don't understand about war. The bullet is never the first weapon. The first weapon is the secret. And the secrets don't kill you fast. They kill you in pieces. Slow, organized. Signed off by the man who will never smell the blood in the dust. So yeah, that day, we jumped into the cold blood of the mountain, unaware we'd already been punished. And if you're still listening, then you already know why I'm telling you this here. Because what happens next is where the war stops being a mission and becomes a trap.